What is going on, guys? It's your boy DBGTX-YT here with the second part of my Xenoverse 3 theories and talk and discussion. Up next in my 3-part series of Xenoverse 3 and what's to come. Looking forward to what's coming next. I believe this is the core of the information that a lot of people want to hear. And thus, this is why I left it as the second part. That is the battle, the gameplay, and so on and so forth. Where to begin with? Well, let's just start with, we all know that the core mechanics of Xenoverse is broken. Hands down broken. The key blast canceling, for example, the fact that you could just you could step block and do canceling with your with your block button. You could do canceling with your key blast. You could do canceling by just pressing L2 and X. The system registers it as a separate thing. I don't know why. Yes. In game, it makes it look pretty flashy as far as when you're playing with an advanced fighter, or a skilled fighter and whatnot, and you guys use it evenly. It looks pretty well, but that's being done all the way away with in Xenoverse 3. It is almost a guarantee that with the enough complaints of how broken the male Earthling CAC has been due to those core mechanics right there, they're definitely working on building not per se a whole entirely new fighting system. The button sequences may be the same because, again, Xenoverse does cater to the more casual fans in the sense of like the little kids that watch the show and play this game and such and so on and so forth. But I think that realistically speaking, that's one of the first issues that they're going to address in the gameplay or in the fight style. So it is going to be a little bit harder to, let's say, for example, land that stamina break to get out of a combo or something like that, because they're gonna go ahead and take out a lot of these extra cheesy cancels that you could just constantly do. And to be honest, if they don't take it out, they'll figure out a way to put it to the point where, like, for example, if you shoot a key blast, it leaves you wide open. Or if you do a step vanish, it forces you to have a cooldown. Unless you're on stamina break or something. There's ways to get around that to keep the gameplay there, but at the same time to punish the players who use that exclusively. One perfect example is when characters use hit. Hit is definitely known as the best game in the character only because it's undeniably hit priority is one thing, but above and beyond that, the combo system has him that when he does a step dash, his hitbox basically just vanishes, so you can't hit him. That becomes a problem unless you know how to perfect block, unless you start grabbing and spamming and doing all this extra stuff. It becomes a real problem. So consequently, Hit is the most used character in Xenoverse 2, is the most cheesed character in Xenoverse 2, and we already know that story. I don't need to divulge into more and more details in regards to why Hit is the cheesiest character in this game and why he's the best character in the game. Nonetheless, due to that, that's a perfect example as to why the combo system has to get looked at, has to get addressed, and has to have a few changes into it. I'm a very big fan of the Budokai Tenkaichi 3 series. Xenoverse, to me personally, and I know this defies a lot of fans out there. A lot of fans don't like when I say this, but I personally believe the Xenoverse series is a legitimate successor to Budokai Tenkaichi 3. But the thing that it's missing is the thing that made Budokai Tenkaichi 3 be Budokai Tenkaichi 3, is that difference maker. Between 1 and 2, the gameplay got way better. Between Budokai Tenkaichi 1 and 2, it got way better. It got a lot smoother, so on and so forth. It almost was a completely new game. This one, almost kind of the same thing, but it wasn't as complete as it was between Xenoverse 1 and 2. But then we had Budokai Tenkaichi 3. When Budokai Tenkaichi 3 dropped, I mean, like, eventually we figured out that the majority of the characters were copy-paste characters, yes. But playing within the first original 38 to 42 cast characters and their transformations and whatnot, back then Okatron, which is the company that did Dragon Ball Z games and stuff like that, they did something revolutionary. Like, it was just a good, like, you play Xenoverse 2, just Xenoverse, Budokai Tenkaichi 2 to Budokai Tenkaichi 3, it was just a complete different beast. Like, you don't want to play Budokai Tenkaichi 2 if you start playing number 3. That's just the hands down thing, even though Budokai Tenkaichi 2 was an exceptionally good game. The exact same thing happened here with Xenoverse 1 and 2. The combo system got way better. Yes, admittingly way better. Even though it still was almost extremely basic as far as the input goes. The style, the differences in between them, it wasn't a simplistic combo. It didn't feel like it was still an undeveloped game. Xenoverse 2 makes you feel like you set up, like, it gives you good setups. But ultimately, there's one thing that was added to Xenoverse 2 that causes the game also to break. That's the stamina break. The stamina break is an interesting factor in fighting. In fighting in this game, but the stamina break is basically a break or make type thing. The game is essentially revolved around who gets that stamina break, and if you get that stamina break, try to finish off your opponent immediately. Depending on your skill, like, for real, it sounds stupid saying, oh, if you're inexperienced versus fighting somebody that's experienced in the game, of course you're gonna lose in 30 seconds or in a minute or something like that. No, no. It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so lopsided to the point where, you destroy your opponent. You understand what I'm saying? In that sense, because you broke his stamina just because he kept pressing the X button. I know they meant to punish the opponent, by for using all their stamina, but that's personally, to me, the stamina break is a make and break thing in the game. It's what is almost everybody's goal. So then when you add that with the first portion of what I said, the cheesing of the step blocking, the spamming, the step spam, and all that stuff, like, the game could easily end in a minute. If you're doing unlimited, like, nobody plays, but like, people who play unlimited usually cheese or usually have some type of move set up that's gonna take 3 bars of damage or something like that. It's just not worth sometimes playing unlimited because of that situation, because you're like, there's no fun for you to fight somebody who's gonna cheese the block, the step vantage block, and then when you breaks your step, and then he goes ahead and breaks your stamina with, like, what people consider an unvanishable, stamina break or something like that, because you can't get out of it. That's due to how the game system is is set in. The gaming mechanics, the combo mechanics are set in. Because of that, like, those stamina breaks just can easily be like thrown out at any point in time. And a lot of times, like, you just need one or two things that could cause you to like lose, almost all your stamina, and boom, you get hit with that, and somebody's just pressing triangle, circle, L2, triangle, circle, L2. That's, of course, everybody knows that's the step spam key blast to regenerate your key, take an excessive amount of damage. That's something that should be and is going to be addressed for Xenoverse 3. I honestly think, in my opinion, what they're going to add is going to be a sway system. I know a lot of people probably hit that. Other YouTubers have talked about this, but Xenoverse, but Budokai Tenkaichi 3 had it. Matter of fact, Budokai 3 had it. When you press the X and you time it right, instead of you disappearing behind somebody, you'd sway, basically like the UI, like the Ultra Instinct Goku, when you go ahead and you just stand still and he moves to the side. You use a little bit of stamina, but you could sway. And then that helps you when you sway. You could hit the character, kind of a counter. And if anything, the blocking system is also going to go ahead, and you're going to have to press the L1 to make it more technical. This is something that I would implement if I was playing on Xenoverse, if I was building Xenoverse 3, the combo system Xenoverse 3. The first thing that you got to think about is how the core gameplay is going to work between offense and defense. So if somebody could sway out of an attack and punch, then the next thing that you should be able to do is be able to perfect block or block the way it is, the way it's coming. But that's the thing. My concept of doing that is that if you press the L1 and you just keep your guard up, it takes a bit more of your stamina, versus if you press L1 and press to the direction that the character that's attacking you is coming in. You see what I'm saying? So if you sway to the left and you press down square, for example, your character is going to do a lower kick or start a lower combo, which should be different than if you just press square. See, that's bringing the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm element into the Xenoverse element, and making your character have different type of combo sets depending on which way you press the directional button. It's a smart idea, and I guarantee you that more than likely it will be implemented in Xenoverse 3. Hopefully. If it's not, and the combo system is as basic as this, and they continue going with the way that they're going, then honestly, again, it's going to be a joke. Nobody's going to ever take the Xenoverse series as an actual fighter. You will never see Xenoverse on the fighting stage of Evo or something like that. ESL is one thing, Evo is another thing. As you guys saw, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and not to talk about Dragon Ball FighterZ in the Xenoverse video, but Dragon Ball FighterZ dropped, and within 2 weeks replaced Marvel vs. Capcom as head of Evo. Come on, guys. That's something that you got to understand. Like, that's a Dragon Ball Z game that did that. That's where we want Xenoverse to be at. Because when people, I would love for people to be like, yo, bro, Xenoverse is that shit. Xenoverse has like tight mechanics, and to tell you the honest truth, it can get there if it is done the right way. Again, that's my opinion when it comes down to the combo system. So to summarize everything that I've talked about thus far, the very first thing that they're going to go ahead and do away with is going to be with this step blocking, the perfect block to step block thing. All that is going to be addressed, so that way there's not so many gaps in the combo system that people could continue to cancel their combos like that of the sort. That's the first thing that is going to be addressed. The second thing that's going to be addressed, and I guarantee that is going to be different, is going to be the combo system itself. What you can do by pressing down square or up triangle, down triangle. Also by timing the X button to dash to sway to the left, to the right, things like that of the sort. That is going to make the game feel more fluid, more Dragon Ball Z is. If you are in close combat, and instead of, let's say for example, instead of you having to do all this hopping and jumping around and such, like it'd be like close combat, you sway, punch, block, punch, block, punch, sway, punch, but it'd be like right there, all fluid, like you're the one fighting at high speed instead of having to go through a actual preset clash and stuff like that. So that's going to be definitely addressed. Hopefully it is. That's my theory, that's what they're going to go with. They're going to take something out of Tekken, make sure that it gets a little bit more technical, a little bit out of Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm with the combo system to make each CAC and each character have a different combo to feel different. Those are things that I believe, as my game designing experience goes, you can only go up from what you have built unless you go ahead and you don't want to put the work in. They asked for 2 years to go ahead and be able to develop a brand new Xenoverse game. We have given them those 2 years. So with that being said, it is time to see the fruit of their labor. Hopefully at E3 they're going to go ahead and announce something in regards to Xenoverse 2. I know there's going to be more stuff being announced for fighters, but for E3 I'm hoping that Xenoverse 2 or Xenoverse 3 gets a really good announcement. With that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. Leave your commentary, give me your feedback on what you guys think about everything that I have mentioned today on this video. I will love all that. Please spread the word and give us a share, give us a like. E3 is around the corner, guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.